Hello, hello, hello. Evening all. Welcome to Saturday night Dan ROX Box, where in a little while we will be chatting to Anne and Georgie from AromaWizards. And I'm trying to keep a straight face because I am seeing them popping on down here. And it's hilarious. I can't wait. But first things first, guten Abend, Ange. So just first things first, if we can just connect with yesterday's crystal connections, just so we know where we're at there. Hey, Charlotte. Hey, Carolyn. Welcome, welcome. Hey, Lucy. So for those of you who have been with us all last week, we either had a crystal from the solar plexus or a crystal of your choice. And please, let's get into the crystal connections and how we have felt yesterday. We connected, we carried and slept with that crystal. Same today, but I won't hear about today's connection until Monday because tomorrow is still our day off. So absolutely, Charlotte. Absolutely. This is why I'm so glad that the AromaWizards are coming on today, because there is still a lot out there. And the main thing we will be discussing tonight will be the safety around that. Hello, Danielle. Hi, Sarah. So I cheated a bit. I love you guys who say cheated. You didn't cheat at all, I'm sure. I cheated a bit and went away from my yellow Jasper as my Hemomorphite freeform arrived Thursday. I literally couldn't put it down and was hugging and stroking it. I had to take it to bed that night and had such vivid dreams. I remember there being large frogs, the colour of orange calcite. They were in large stone frying pans, but not being cooked though. Don't worry. Okay. And when they emerged, they were horses, but still orange calcite. It was amazing. Whenever I woke up, the freeform was always by. Okay. Nice one. I think there's a little bit off that comment there, but I love that. And absolutely, obviously, us doing these throughout the week, we're just layering on that connection with the crystal and just starting off slowly and then layering it up. But we've done it for 5 weeks now. So if you want to change course, once you feel you understand that stone, if you want to change course, that's absolutely fine. Okay. So yeah, so your Hemomorphite showed up. You instantly wanted to connect with it. You wanted to carry it and you wanted to sleep with it. Perfect. I think the frogs in the frying pan, that again, frog is the transformation, which happened. It turned into a horse. So I think for you, and the frying pan, you know, we're trying to contain things into the frying pan. We don't want things jumping out. We don't want things spitting out there. But I think that's the opposite for you there, Sarah. I think you're trying to contain into this little boundary your gifts, your talents, your personality. And what the frogs were doing was transforming into a very powerful horse. For me, is very powerful, full of passion, full of energy. I get garnet when I work with horse. Just that red, passionate drive. And I think what it was showing you is jump out of that frying pan, not into the fire, jump out of that break that boundary. Don't think that you're contained in that section. You're not. You need to be expansive. You need to be more. You're more than that, sweetheart. So love it. I don't know about being in the small to middle of my back. Adam will be able to tell you how that feels like, because all of my crystals normally end up in the small of his middle of the back. So yeah, I have great sleeps. So Belinda, hello. Last night I slept with citrine. You had the best night's sleep ever. Okay. Nice one. I'm glad some people can sleep with citrine. As I've said before, I just can't. It just keeps me going, keeps me buzzing over. Lucy, connected, carried, and slept with my citrine again. Was again at the farmhouse I have been at all week. Again, flying with the yellow butterfly. This time there was a rainbow made up of different shades of yellow. We flew through, under, over, and through it. Then up into space. The butterfly left. I had turned back to myself and was sat in space amongst beautiful colours, watching the earth with a shimmering yellow light all around it. That is beautiful, Lucy. Okay. And again, you've slept okay with citrine. Yeah, you just commented down there. But you had lots of vivid dreams. So perfect. 2 people there that slept with citrine, and I found that really well. So brilliant. But lots of yellow there and a lot of things going on, rainbows, a lot of heady, high spiritual things were going on there, which would be the citrine activating. Although citrine is a lovely solar plexus stone, we do have that quartz property of it. And it's the quartz that would take us to our headspace and stimulate our mind. So brilliant that you've managed to stimulate your mind while still being asleep. Me personally, I am always awake. So anybody else? The next comment up from Carolyn Biggs. There. Ange, had a perfect connection with the grid I laid. I cannot remember, though, what the black arrow points are. Otherwise, I had rose quartz, amethyst, and citrine. This is what you showed me. The black arrow points, I would say, would be black obsidian. They're the norm. They're normally what I get turned into arrow points. So I would go with black obsidian there. But you had rose quartz, amethyst, and citrine. After 2 rituals, I slept like a log. I feel still so tired. I can feel energies are shifting. I still slept with my 2 bogie stones. Well, that's all in at the Mo, as my husband is in Scotland. Wow. So again, you slept with citrine. You guys are showing me up. I might have to start taking citrine back to bed with me and going, if these people can sleep with you, so can I. But then you have got the bogie stones, which are quite heavy grounding, especially if it's a male and a female. As the bogie stones, if they're a pair, one's male, one's female. So a nice balance of the energies there. And you would have the and then the obsidian will take you into yourself. But then you've got the rose quartz and the amethyst. So it's going to dampen the intensity of the black obsidian with rose quartz and amethyst. You'll get a nicer calming energy. And then the citrine, again, activating, stimulating the mind. Beautiful. Carolyn, I was meditating with my boa and connected to his energy and my new merlinite. He calmed down, didn't move, and was just tensing his muscles like a massage on my shoulders. I felt him growing, and I was on his back, and it was like we were swimming, but there was no water. Just the air felt dense like water, and he took me to a castle made out of merlinite. and we explored the inside castle, and everything in there was merlinite. Beautiful. And it's quite ironic that he took you to a castle, because obviously we all know of merlinite and being called after the wizard Merlin, and he had his castle, which the legends believe would have been the Tintagel. That's where Merlin was. But again, merlinite has got that sense of really bringing out our imagination, our creativity. So bringing that out there. The other one's just joined us now. What a scream. What a brilliant. I can't wait to introduce these ladies. So merlinite really getting out that creative center, and snake again is that guide. So being with your boa, I really need to do some live videos with you, Caroline, because I'd love to see how you work with these reptiles. So yes, I need to find time to really have a chat with you. But snake energy, healing energy, and Merlin, he was an alchemist. He was a wizard, quite apt for tonight, especially what I'm seeing down below me. But he was an alchemist. He was a healer. So brilliant connections there, really nicely combined there. I'm surprised how many people slept with citrine. Amazing. I'm just wondering whether you had natural citrine or whether you had heat treated amethyst. It would be interesting to see what you had. Maybe the natural citrine we could sleep better with, but it might be the heat treated amethyst which might just send us off a little bit. Yes, sorry, Charlotte. All these weeks of doing the live videos, 5 weeks ago, I put through to the people who watch this if we wanted to connect with crystals. And so what we do, we start on a Monday, we pick a crystal and we connect with that crystal, which means just spending a couple of minutes, just finding a quiet place and just connect with that crystal. See if anything comes to you. See if you feel anything around your body. Then Tuesday, we do exactly the same. Then Wednesday and Thursday, we connect exactly like we did Monday and Tuesday, but then we carry it with us for the day. And then Friday and Saturday, we connect like we did Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We carry like we did Wednesday, Thursday, but then we sleep with it. And we're just layering on that connection. We're feeling more and more each time. We've got into about week 5, week 6 now. So these people have pretty much gone free reign now. They're rebels. They've gone off and they're picking crystals right, left and center and connecting with them. So you're more than welcome to join us. We start again on Monday, because Sundays we have a day off. We don't touch the crystal. And on a Sunday, that's where we'll write a journal, summarize how we felt for that week, and then do a little bit of research on the internet to see what other people got with that crystal and see that common theme, see that connection. Lucy, my daughter has decided she wanted to connect with the blue calcite we got from you. She took it to bed with her and she told me dreamt of a waterfall that was in our house. She has connected with the other calcites we got from you. She says she loves them the most. Not a bad connection for a 5-year-old. That is a brilliant connection for a 5-year-old. Although I hope it's a connection and not a premonition. I hope there's no blocked baths and the bath is going to overflow and create a waterfall in your house. But that is beautiful. Definitely a water element there with blue calcite. So that is fantastic. So any more connections before we move on to the beautiful ladies that we've got lined up for tonight? Okay. So There is one person we didn't hear a connection from, which we normally do. That's because she's waiting in the waiting room, waiting to come on. So these beautiful ladies, I am so honored to know them. They are absolutely amazing at what they do and really changed my life as well for the better. So here tonight to discuss all things aromatherapy, please welcome Anne and Georgie.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm loving the bottles at the back, by the way.
Yeah, very nice display you've got going there,
I am. You've given me an addiction here. You've given me an addiction. Look at you two.
Well,
do you like
love it.
There's my top.
It's quite
perfect, but you know, they're meant to be cooking. I've got my wand as well.
I love it.
And I've connected to sweet orange. I've put some sweet orange on there. So I'm wafting my wand around, smelling the sweet orange.
And I forgot, I've connected to geranium.
I've
Sorry,
got my
guys.
geranium. No, sweetheart. Okay.
I think
we're quite matching because without knowing, I had Slytherin on. So I'm joining in this Harry Pottery wizarding world. I'm Snape. One of you could be McGonagall. And the other one could be Dumbledore. I'll let you girls argue those choices.
Oh, I think I'm definitely Dumbledore.
Thank you.
Dumbledore.
Brilliant.
Thank you both for coming on tonight.
Yeah, we're excited.
This is my first three-way I've been on here. So just want to try and organize. So this is you guys, the AromaWizards, based in North Devon. And between you, how many years of aromatherapy have you got?
Oh, quite a few.
Probably, yeah. We'll be getting near to half a century between us, surely.
I was working out, mine's about 31 years.
31 years of aromatherapy by Anne and Georgie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm approaching a decade. But that is qualified, not from before.
Yeah.
So as qualified, good 10 years. Yeah.
But I still think, I mean, with essential oils, I just feel like I'm still on the path. I'm a novice, you know, it's an ongoing just learning experience. And every day, you know, kind of you're like, oh, that's a different oil, or I'd like to try that. And there's just kind of so many new discoveries. And even the old ones, it's, you know, it doesn't matter how many years you've got. I think it's just beautiful path.
Yeah, because what I find is that what you have just said there, I can so put that into crystals in a sense of that, where people think, oh my God, but it's like, yeah, you contain some knowledge, but every day is a school day.
Every day is a school day.
Somebody will say something and you're like, oh, I never thought of that by that before. So I love that attitude. I love that attitude of, yes, you've got X amount of years, but you are still learning, which is what it's all about.
Science. There's new science coming out all the time, new studies, new oils. So you would never, ever be able to know everything anyway.
And again, you can put that to the crystal side of things. Minerals are being discovered all the time, and you can't know everything. I hate the word expert. I cringe when people say expert. It's like, no, I'm an enthusiast, and you ladies are enthusiastic about aromatherapy. So how
Definitely.
did AromaWizards come by? How did it come about?
So I moved to Bideford nearly 3 years ago, and I started chatting to a young lady in Bristol, where I'm from, who was coming down, and we connected through our running club online. And we got chatting away, and then it became apparent pretty quickly that this lady was also an aromatherapist. So it seemed obvious we had to meet up for coffee the second that she'd moved to Bideford. And I don't know if it was your first week here, Anne, but it must have been pretty on the mark, you know, you coming down. We went out, had coffee, hit it off. Our passion just, really showed through.
Yeah, it was absolutely.
Yeah, and then it was just running and having coffees and talking aromatherapy and doing massage spots and things. And we went to a couple of holistic fairs, and it became apparent that there was a lot of unsafe practices out and about. You know, you can Google anything, you can pick up a book that's 3+ years old. It's all out of date. The safety's changed. And then go into one holistic fair. I can't remember which one the first one we went to was together. We were actually quite horrified what people were kind of recommending you do. So with that as a basis, we said, we're going to put on some workshops. So share our passion, get the safety out there so everyone, all the lay people using it, can use it safely.
Absolutely. So, and it needs that out there. There is so much. I mean, my experience of essential oils has come unbound by the last 8 months of knowing you ladies, but essential oils was something that was always in our house growing up. And so, yeah, we were doing this and that and learning from you guys. I know there was quite a lot of things that we shouldn't have done. And
yeah, definitely. And the thing about it is you can get away with it sometimes for a little while and then you don't get away with it. And I remember, Georgie, recently you were in communication with somebody who either came on or was coming on kind of a little club we set up in Bideford, and they'd emailed Georgie saying that they'd kind of gone in the bath with neat essential oils and had reactions. So, you know, that's just kind of somebody we came across. And yeah, it's really interesting because we've all done things like that, and I for one have had a reaction. Georgie's done it. You know, it's kind of like years ago that was the thing. Yeah, years ago that was the thing to do, but now it's a big no-no. I mean, it's really changing, but unfortunately, the online stuff, there's a lot of really bad online stuff that's written really badly, and there's also a lot of good stuff. We will tell you a couple of good places to go. Yeah,
because that is it, because some people might do something the once, think it's okay, and do it again. I mean, again, this is where it can relate to with the work we do with crystals and why we did the workshop on crystal waters. Because, okay, somebody could put a crystal that could be toxic in water, drink it the once and be fine. But that doesn't mean to say if you're going to continuously do it, you're going to carry on being fine.
Yeah, exactly.
And with the oils, you might go, oh, that worked once. But it's the intense, it's the way they're made that is just needs to be put out.
Yeah, they're really, really highly concentrated. I'm a particularly sensitive individual, which is why I've gone the natural route. But I've certainly had times where I've had to sort of step away, where I've been training hard with it or using it a lot. And I've got 2 oils, one tiny exposure, and I knew it wasn't right for me. And then others I've used and just know I need to have a break one way or another. So yeah, I've certainly experienced it firsthand. And yeah.
I think the thing about both aromatherapy and other things like herbalism as well, particularly with aromatherapy, is that people think because it's natural, it's safe. Well, it is for the majority of people, but if you do things and keep doing things that aren't particularly good, then it's not safe.
No.
If that kind of makes sense. I mean, a classic one is one that a lot of people do is using essential oils neat on their skin. Lavender and tea tree we tend to use on our skin, or we used to do. But we now know that basically it's not good. They dry the skin out, so they're not particularly helpful using them neat. And secondly, it really increases your tendency to have either an irritation locally or an allergic response. And ironically, the two essential oils that are recorded for the most allergic responses or irritations are lavender and tea tree. And that's not because they're particularly, are problematic. It's because those are the ones that most people use. And so those are the ones that are most reported. And even aromatherapists, hands up, I've used lavender neat on my skin. Do I do it now? No. I don't do it now at all.
No,
I mean, everything's diluted in something or other, and it's much, much safer, much, much safer. Because, for instance, if you do have an irritation, you get redness, you might get some hives, you might just get itchiness. And if it's a local irritation, you can sort it out, it might be absolutely fine. But then sometimes it can develop into something much more severe where the whole of your immune system is involved. And you not only get breakouts where they are, but you can get breakouts over your body, and it can last months. So, it's really worth just diluting things and being safe. Yeah.
Absolutely. We have got a question here.
Okay.
While we're talking about this from Charlotte.
Hello, Charlotte.
So,
How long have we got?
So I recently heard about MLM companies. What are your thoughts on doTERRA and oils from them? I know I have been told things, however, it seems that the info may have been incorrect.
Yeah.
Shall we go with Georgie first?
Yeah, go with Georgie first, because I'll spend hours on it.
We've got an hour.
So, shut me up when I need to shut up, Dan, because this is a real can of worms, the question you've asked. So MLM companies do tend to be about, selling products. And one of the big things that they advocate in this country can be ingestion. There's probably other things, but that is the real bee in the bonnet for us, or in the wizard's hat, whatever these are called. So they recommend ingesting in water. Oils do not disperse in the water. It can be very, very dangerous for you. It might be the first time you do it, you have a reaction, or it might be more like if you're smoking, it builds up over time, and it's a drip, drip, drip effect. And they can burn the inside of your esophagus all the way down over time, because it's neat oil touching the tissues. So that's one of the big things that we really don't recommend, especially not in water. Anne and I have recently done a masterclass, with very recent studies, information. We literally finished it, a month ago, 6 weeks ago?
Yeah.
And, for qualified aromatherapists, I was really blown away at the levels of dilutions, even for the non-toxic oils. And some of the figures we were looking at, 1 drop, 16 litres of water, and it would still have to be in a carrier and in an enteric coating for it not to be dangerous. So putting 1 drop of lemon essential oil, for example, into a whole pint of water that's not 16 litres, and it's still not dispersed in something to make it safer. But in the UK, you can't get insurance for ingestion. None of the professional bodies recommend it. And with the thing that really touches me with the MLM side of it is it's people, they're trusting the information they're being told, and who are they selling to? Their friends and families. And I don't know if that doesn't make it any worse, but for me, it's like, so you're getting people that you really love to do something that can be really, really high risk. Maybe Anne would want to, I don't know if you want to talk more about MLM or some of the other effects it has on the metabolism or something.
Cheers, Georgie. Yes, Anne.
But that's my thinking on that,
Yeah, I think, I mean, I with everything Georgie says, but the thing about MLM companies is they train people with a book, okay? So it's like you're a marketing person. You don't have the training that a professional aromatherapist does. Georgie and I did years of training, we've really studied essential oils. I get a magazine through from My Body, and in it's loads of stuff about plant chemistry, on current essential oils, all that. And I'm constantly looking and studying and learning stuff. They don't get any of that. They just get told something. Like you tell people to ingest a drop of lemon in water. Now, sadly, and this is the saddest part, these people don't know any different. So they're taken on as consultants for doTERRA, Young Living's another one. And like Georgie says, they go and sell to their family and friends with absolutely no knowledge that they actually could be causing harm. I just want to say a little instance, because it really struck me, and this was on a Tisserand safety course I did, and he's one of the gurus, and Tisserand Institute is a good place to look for information. So if people really want good information, go to the Tisserand Institute. And one thing he was telling, I think I told you the story about a lady in America who wanted to ingest. She was a professional aromatherapist, and come off her drugs for a while. So she started ingesting oils for a month. Her MO, her medical officer, agreed she could try them for a while. She ingested for a month and had bloods taken at the beginning and at the end. Okay, she felt no different at the actual end of ingesting high dose essential oils for a month. She was borderline liver failure. And she had no knowledge at all that this was happening to her, because the essential oils can build up in the liver, they're metabolized in the liver, the same as drugs are, and they can interfere with some of the drugs that were actually already taken, which is another reason not to ingest them. Yeah. So MLM companies, I don't know about their essential oils, I presume their essential oils are okay, but it's their way of working, their methods.
Absolute.
We sound more doom and gloom, but essential oils are wonderful.
Thank you so much, ladies. I mean, tonight is more about bringing the safety out there rather than talking about individual oils when we had a chat.
Yeah.
So we've got all the time in the world to discuss the safety aspects. That's what tonight is all about. So please get your questions coming in on any of that. And if you want a little bit more in depth, so Charlotte, I hope that answered that question. If you still want some more, please feel free to message these ladies at the end on their Facebook page, AromaWizards, and they'll be able to go in more in depth than possible on here. I mean, I myself, with us doing shows, we've seen some of these places that have been mentioned at these shows, and it's like a mother bird feeding her chicks. They've got people around them, and they're literally taking off the lid and just putting it into these people's mouths. And it's like, do you know their medical background? Do you know their allergies? Do you know, without the concentration of that oil, they're just pushing it through someone's mouth? And it's just like, no. So thank you for that. Another question we have is from Nikki Holloway. You recently gave me some oil advice for piriformis muscle issues. What clary oil would you suggest, and how many drops? So I think this might be a regular of yours.
This is this is a good friend of mine, actually. Hello, Nikki.
You want to do it, Georgie, then?
you like. I hope it's helped your piriformis. I believe I gave you a blend. It was a while ago. So with the workshops, we quite often, there's carrier oils are a whole new world again, as Dan will know, because yeah, he's been introduced to them. So I would say for muscular pains, you're looking for something that's nice and anti-inflammatory. So a lovely one to blend for that. If you don't have a nut allergy, is sweet almond, which is the go-to carrier oil for most working aromatherapists when they're giving massage. If you have a nut allergy, grapeseed is really easy and affordable to come by. Another one that's lovely to use because it's really light, it's really close to the skin sebum, the actual, our natural oils in the skin, and that's fractionated coconut. So that would be my 3 go-to that are easy for you to get without going to a professional supplier. If you can, go organic and or unrefined, cold press. Yeah, that's the stuff, Dan. Just because you're putting possible stuff on your skin. And also you'll really get the benefits of the emollient in moisturising properties as well. So, but if you want to message us after, what we can think about is if you've got dry skin, greasy skin, any skin problems whatsoever, eczema, then a different carrier oil may well be recommended to go with the oil that you've got. So I hope that helps.
Thank you. And obviously, yeah, I'll just want to say if anyone has got any health issues and would like some help on aromatherapy and what to use, again, please message these ladies afterwards because they will need to do background checks on any medical or any allergens. And so I don't feel that that is the time or place on a live feed to discuss medications. So if anyone needs any help on aromatherapy for their health, please message them afterwards. But questions are coming in, guys. So thank you so much for that one. Thank you, Charlotte, for that. I'm glad that that helps you. So, Belle, what is the best oils to get? There's so many companies out there, and can you use them for animals?
Yeah, hi, Belle. I might take this one because I kind of maybe know a little. For animals, a lot of animals, especially cats, they don't produce the enzymes to actually deal with essential oils. So cats can be particularly sort of iffy around oils. Where I would send you to look for that, I haven't got masses and masses of experience of using essential oils with animals. I tend to use hydrosols for my dogs, which are when essential oils are distilled. Yeah, great, Dan. Yay, that's a hydrosol, yeah. When essential oils are distilled, the waters from the distillation, which aren't concentrated but contain some of the properties of the plant, are much gentler. And I use the lavender I'm using for my dog at the moment because she got a tick recently and I couldn't get all of it out. So I'm spraying her to stop any infection with lavender hydrosol. So hydrosols, I think, are brilliant for dogs. But there's a lady called Caroline Ingraham, and Zoo Pharmacopoeia is the website. Now, Caroline, she lives in Worcestershire. When I lived up in the Cotswolds, I used to watch a lot of this stuff. And I directed somebody from one of our workshops onto there recently. She's found her really helpful. So, yeah, I would go to Caroline Ingraham and Zoo Pharmacopoeia. She basically purely works with animals. She goes into rescues and works with stray dogs and essential oils. But she works with the essential oils and the animal has to come. And does the animal like the essential oil? It's a very, very unique way of working. She's worked with elephants. She's worked all over the world with animals and she's a real expert. So my advice would be go and have a look at all her stuff because I'm not an animal expert at all. But she's amazing, Caroline Ingraham. Yeah. Hope that's helped with Belle.
Thank you so much, Anne. The next question, please, because they've gone up now. So from Heather Hayes, are there any books you recommend for beginners on mixing oils? Thank you both. I've loved your course and have been experimenting ever since. That goes for both of us, and we're both born on the same. We have the same birthday, me and Heather. So we both love your
Right.
course, and we have both been mixing ever since. So, Georgie, do you want to start with this one?
Actually, I think Anne looked at some good basic books, didn't you?
I did.
The ones I had, I would say, are outdated now, so I wouldn't want to recommend
So
what I
think
may have recommended maybe 2 years ago. And the more basic ones I thought have been very specific. So I've bought a couple on aromatherapy for spirituality and yoga. I'd have to dig them out because I can't remember the names. They're so new. But I wouldn't feel comfortable recommending the older basic books I've got.
This is the one that I've got, but
Patricia Davis.
It's great for pointers, but I would still do some background checks just to make sure nothing else has altered since that one.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, the main thing is to look at the edition and the date of publication. And Anne and I could possibly send you a list of some real trustworthy authors. Tisserand is just amazing. Anything you get from him, and I'm sure he'll have basic books as well as the more sort of professional books that we've got. I haven't got any of his beginners books, but he must have some. Anne, have you got any?
Yeah, I looked, when people asked me for a reading list, I actually went to Tisserand, and he's basically got a list of books recommended for beginners, intermediate and advanced practitioners. Well, you know, people starting out completely new. So it's actually posted somewhere on AromaWizards, and what I will do is re-dig it out and put it to the top again if I can, or relist it so that people can see it, Heather, because I think you follow our page, so I'll pop it out there. But yeah, like Georgie said, the thing is, a lot of the dosages or a lot of the drops are out of date. Now, Valerie Ann Werwood, I love her books, but to me, some of her dosages are really, really high for some essential oils that I maybe wouldn't use very much of for safety. So I think it's good to look at different authors for blends. But you've been on one of our courses. Have a look at the drops and the amounts, you know, and if it says under an oil, you know, use with caution, then maybe only put a couple of drops in. That would be my thing. And enjoy experimenting. You know, it is really, it's a bit of an art and a craft, isn't it, Georgie? Just playing with the oil, you know?
Definitely.
I mean, I'm always playing with it. I make some things and I think, oh, don't like that. And, you know, that really has to go in the bin. That really doesn't smell right. I don't tend to do that so much nowadays, but I have done. And other times I'm like, oh, that is so nice. Yeah, you're really into that.
I mean, this is more based on the carrier oils than the actual essential oils. But if anyone is into carrier oils, this one is amazing. Love it. Fabulous. It is my Bible.
I'm so glad you're doing it. But the other thing I'll say is come along to one of our workshops, because now, of course, we are completely online. So you can be anywhere in the UK and come to a workshop. Whereas before you had to be in North Devon, because we only did North Devon. Well, we were planning to come to you, Dan, as you know. So, yeah, come and join us, because we literally cover a whole load of stuff. So kind of once we got, well, you know, we got the Aroma Crystals one. We were originally intending to come to Exeter. So we got the Aroma Crystals in the beginning of June. We've got one place left on that one. If anybody is interested, message us. So that's working with Molly from Earth and Heaven, and we literally are working with paired essential oils and crystals, and that looks, you know, really fabulous. You know, I think you came to that one, didn't you, Dan?
It was my first introduction to aromatherapy, and I went along because I love Molly and I love you, Anne, and it was the first time I met Georgie, and I loved it. It was such an amazing day. The connections to the crystals and the pairing to the oils, I thought were bang on. I loved it. Deepened my connection to the crystals, and the stuff that we made, I'm still making today.
Brilliant.
A brilliant course. Love the workshop.
Very lovely.
And you're coming back for the next one.
I'm coming back for more because this is it. Because what the oils I used then, I might be using different oils now. So it's good to go back again because then I can get to mix. I mean, yeah, my collection's grown and I could do that at home, but it's so nice to do it with other people and smelling. I mean, obviously here we're not going to be able to smell because it's online, but you know, to see what people have made and being chuffed with that. And there's nothing better than putting something on your body that you've made.
Absolutely.
You've made it with love.
Absolutely.
So, it's interesting as well, seeing how people connect with different oils, and what you find is when you work in a practice as a holistic aromatherapist, you'll make a blend. Someone will go away and work with it, whether it's on a workshop or you know, in your therapy room, and then they'll come back and they'll say, I want the same again. And every time it seems you need to explain what you needed that day may not be what you need today. And they're really keen to have the same thing, but then you do the consultation and there might be a couple of oils the same or none of them the same. And then they're still blown away and come back the next time saying, can I have the same blend that you did the second time? And you have to explain it. You know, every single time it's different. It doesn't matter how many years you've worked with them, if you've never worked with them before. What you really can't stand the smell of one day or might trigger, I don't know, some emotional outburst or a migraine or something, the next day could just be the most amazing scent you've ever had. So it's so important. You know, we talk about the safety. You can look it up in a book and you can see which ones are more toxic, which ones you know not to use with children or pets and all this, but everyone is different, so you have to connect with them and work with them holistically. You need that knowledge. You still don't know. The safest oil in the world could not be the one for you. So, and it's such a journey. And when you start blending, it's a whole other world again, you know, because that changes it completely. Yeah.
And that's why tonight is all about the safety aspects, because we could be sitting there talking about lavender, saying how it's good for this, and this. Somebody on here could go away with lavender and have an adverse effect on it. So this is why safety first, then we can have a little play around and experiment. But absolutely. Have we got another question? I know that there are.
That one. That's one we actually cover in great depth on our Aromatherapy for Wellbeing workshop. So to be honest, there are lots of different brands, but our Aromatherapy for Wellbeing workshop, we cover things like what to look for when you're buying essential oils. We cover kind of how to store your essential oils and how long they keep, because people don't realise they actually keep for absolutely different lengths of time. Some of them only keep for a year and some of them are good after 8 years. So it's completely different. Like the thick ones are really good after 8 years. So they do keep for very different lengths of time. I mean, there's loads and loads of brands of essential oils, really. And the thing is to really have a good look at the ethics of the company. But we do cover all that in our Aromatherapy for Wellbeing. If people are interested in that one, that's another one we're doing. Georgie, do you want to recommend any brands?
Well, there's plenty of things to look for. So, you know, it's hard to recommend without knowing your ethics, what you're looking for, what's important to you. You know, I know plenty of good companies. How much do you want to spend? Some people like to pay for a label, some people don't. But always look 100% pure, whether it's organic or not. Is you know, you're looking for 100% pure, and Yeah, every oil is so different. Some are really expensive. If you find it cheap, it's going to be out of date or synthetic or a fragrance. It's a minefield out there. And that's why we cover it extensively in a workshop, because it is too much to cover tonight.
I mean, rose, for instance, if I'm going to see if I can get the price right, Georgie. So rose we looked at, was it something like 3 or 5 mil of rose? I think it was 3 mil of rose in penny price, £131. So if you're wanting to use a distilled rose where the petals have all been gathered by hand, and you need masses and masses and masses of petals to make that 3 mil of essential oil in a very pure process. So that's going to cost you £131. Okay, so if you go out to Holland and Barrett and you buy a rose essential oil for a tenner, that ain't what you're getting.
No.
You're getting a fragrance, or you might be getting 0.5%, or, you know, a small amount of rose in a carrier oil, or, you know, it's just knowing what you're buying, really. The rest of them aren't that expensive. Well, jasmine's pretty expensive, and so's the neroli, but the majority of them aren't.
And Angelica root, that could be quite expensive as well, can't it?
Yeah, Angelica root is quite expensive. We're using that in one of our workshops coming up, without wanting to give too much away.
Which one?
Yeah. So yeah, that is quite an expensive oil, Angelica root. Nice oil though, beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, and that penny price, the price at penny price, they're not super expensive and they're not super cheap. So that's a real good supplier. But you know, it's not expensive because they charge loads either.
Yeah.
I mean, I think
I get most of mine from Base Formula.
Yeah, I was going to say we use Base Formula a lot.
Yeah.
They're suppliers in the trade.
I'll put my name.
So they're trade suppliers, but anyone can buy from them. It's what we use on our workshops, unless they don't supply what we're looking for at that time. In my practice, I use other suppliers as well, because I try to go organic or wild grown. But I use Base Formula as well. Yeah, so that's a good one to go to. And you don't.
I mean, there are quite a lot. Neil's Yard is good. I know, because Jennifer Jones was on here, wasn't she? Neil's Yard, very good. I used to be a consultant for them, but I do find their prices a little bit more expensive. But if you're only buying a few essential oils, then, you know, absolutely, you know, there are lots. Have a look at the ethics of the company and what they're about. I think that's a good key, really.
Okay. Just to put onto that, because the same lady, Charlotte, has just commented, a company recommended to her was £15 for Roman chamomile. However, doTERRA was £64 for the same thing.
doTERRA charge, because they do charge an awful lot for their oils, because they put them as some sort of therapeutic grade, or, you know, a grade you can ingest. And there is no such thing, to be honest. Absolutely no such thing. So doTERRA, I know their oils are sky high because they try to make out there's something special, but actually they're no different to any of the other oils. And that's one of their marketing techniques, to actually make people pay an awful lot more. There's absolutely no way I would pay £64 for Roman chamomile. I can get a really good organic Roman chamomile for around about the £15. So go with that.
So I think mine was from Base Formula. I think mine was around 15.
Yeah. Yeah,
go for one
charge a little more. And the thing with essential oils is they do vary from company, so it's good to get a broad spectrum.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what's interesting with that note as well is, even if you get it from the same company every time, every batch is different, because it all depends on the soil, the sun, the growing conditions, when it was harvested, what time of day it was harvested. So yeah, it's special every time you open a bottle, because it's different every time. Yeah.
So yeah, and Charlotte has just come back going, holy moly, you mean I spent hundreds on theirs when I could have saved and invested in a better company?
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah. I mean, their oils may be fantastic, but I've never used them and I never will. So I can't comment on the quality and what have you. Yeah, there's a big debate in the UK, especially.
They're no more special than anybody else. I think, you know, as long as you get a good company, they charge us a bit of a marketing thing. I know that for sure from a friend of mine who knows them very well from the States and Canada. Same thing in the States and Canada, exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you
and
very much.
Australian. So I've got friends, you know, with the same issues there with them as well.
Yes. We tried not to mention that name, didn't we?
We did, but...
First question.
We did well. If I'm going to get a tomorrow morning, we're going 3 ways, okay? Next question, please.
Essential oils without mentioning them somewhere.
Sorry, Carolyn. We've tried about 5 times to put this question up. So her mother is allergic to a lot of flowers and trees, and she can't have any aroma candles or oils in a burner, or her eyes get irritated. Her skin gets itchy and her throat gets tight, but she really misses the smell. Are there any safe products she could try or just stay away?
I would be thinking hydrosol spray, but you know, it would be a trial, and you wouldn't be spraying it on your face. You'd be spraying it into a room with the windows open and see what happens. I'm really sensitive, like I said, and I've just had 2 weeks off with no oils. Tonight, this bit of sweet orange on the end of my wand is the first whiff of an essential oil I've had in 2 weeks, because I've had an allergic reaction with my hay fever. So it wasn't the oils that caused it, but because that's happened, I'm sensitive to everything. So that sounds really similar to possibly how your mum reacts. So I would take it really, really careful, be really careful with it. In short of maybe trying a hydrosol. I don't know. I mean, does she just use Ecover in the washing machine for her clothes? You know, maybe she could try a tiny bit of hydrosol in that and see if that has an effect. I don't know. What do you think, Anne?
Yeah, it sounds like probably allergic to an awful lot of things that are in essential oils. So I try hydrosols and see how they go, really. You can just like buy one, see how it goes. I'm assuming she's allergic to a lot of perfumes as well. It's really difficult commenting without having a full history, because, you know, if we were working with somebody, we'd really be taking a full history of everything. So it is kind of difficult to comment. So off the cuff, I'd say try the hydrosols, which you can buy from Base Formula at a reasonable price, and a spray, or you can buy them from Penny Price as well. Yeah. But you can, I think, Base Formula do a limited range. They do neroli, rose, peppermint. They do
neroli?
Sorry?
Rose. No, sorry. No, you said neroli.
Rose, neroli, peppermint, chamomile, lavender. Other companies will do a much wider range. So I would just pick one and try it. But without taking a full history, it's really, really difficult to comment.
So another one for to message you afterwards.
Yeah, it is difficult.
No,
and the thing is, sensitive to everything at the moment. Anything's going to probably kick it off, I'm afraid to say. That's what's just happened to me, anyhow. Yeah.
I mean, we did have a lady come to one of our workshops that said, I remember having a conversation with her that said whenever she smelled anything in any of the shops, like perfume or anything, she could feel this tickle down the back of her throat, and she kind of felt a bit allergic. So she wanted to know. So I sent her to our local health shop to go and smell a couple of essential oils and buy a bottle and take it home and just try it. and she was absolutely fine. She came to one of the workshops. So she was allergic to, because sometimes you can be allergic to the chemicals in synthetic things, but you're okay with the essential oils. So a much bigger history would need to be taken. So what I'm saying is that lady successfully came to one of our workshops and had no problems.
Mhm.
Thank you very much, ladies. Thank you, Caroline, for that question. Next question. Because I think there is some more. Okay, hey Danielle. I have a scent diffuser. What essential oils are safe to dilute in the diffuser for pets? She has cats.
Cats don't like essential oils generally, to be honest. I don't know about your cat, Georgie, but my cat's literally, my one cat liked lavender, and that was a miracle. But generally, essential oils and cats, they don't mix. So I would say have the door open so the cat can get out, and don't put too much in the diffuser, unless you're having it in a room in which the cat doesn't go into.
Yeah, I'm about to say I've got my oil burner on, and I have to have all my doors, my back doors wide open, because the cats don't like anything that I burn.
They don't.
Sorry,
it's really important to give them that escape route as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're going to be looking for the least toxic oil. Again, that takes research, really. I don't know specific for cats. I've got a cat. One ran away. Maybe he didn't like the oils too much. I think he preferred the neighbour's food. Yeah, but always have an escape route and have the room well aired, which is important with any animal. Yeah,
absolutely. I think that is the best advice, and yeah, that's what I do. I just make sure, if I'm even burning an incense stick, I make sure that all the doors are open, and it's not just about them going off to another room, it's about them being able to get outside, and absolutely making sure, because there are too many different oils and too many different individual cats to pinpoint it exactly. But thank you very much, Danielle. Another question, please, Bear. So Anne or George, please can you recommend an oil for my grandson who has very bad eczema at the mo? I thought chamomile. They have a diffuser. Many thanks. So is this something that you want to discuss away from the video?
I think so, because it's we can't recommend an oil for a specific person without the background history.
Absolutely.
And it I don't think you probably wouldn't be using a diffuser for it either. To be honest, it'd be a topical application for a specific skin disorder. So I think maybe message us after, and we might be able to help then.
Brilliant. Okay, Ange. So please message these lovely ladies after this video, after this live feed, and they'll be able to do some more thorough checks and hopefully get something for you. Thank you, sweetheart.
Dan, before we go there, just say for people who have got skin issues at the moment, which a lot of us have with, the stress of all that's going on, we actually do run, again, you did it, an aromatherapy for natural skincare course, which is literally a workshop totally dedicated to essential oils for the skin, how to use them, how to blend them, and you make a couple of different things. So that will be online as well for anybody that's interested in that workshop. That will be happening in beginning of July. So if anybody's interested in that one, let us know. And for all our workshops, we send out the kits in the post now, because generally we're all in one room and we're not all going to be in one room this time. So you get little kits with these, which are bottles of essential oils. So there's for all the essential oils that we're doing, we'll have a little full kit, plus all the different things we'll be making for that workshop. So the price for the AromaWizards ones are 35, and for the aromatherapy and crystal one is 45. So yeah, if you're interested in any of the workshops, I'll just run through a list at the end. But yeah,
Absolutely.
And skincare isn't just for beauty; it does cover skin conditions as well. Okay.
Yeah, I loved it. Again, another one that was a brilliant workshop to go on to. And Ange is in Germany, so it might be nice to have somebody from Germany come onto an online course for you ladies.
I don't know how long things would take though.
Yeah.
So another question, please, Bear. From Marie Brayley, what are your 3 favourite oils? Thank you, Mother. Hope you're well.
Hello, Marie.
Yeah, you'll know Marie from...
I do, yeah.
Yeah. So what are your 3 favourite oils, ladies?
Clary Sage is my all-time favourite.
Okay.
This sweet orange is really nice.
You're giving it a good waff.
Yeah, I can put my wand up my nose, but it is really nice. Well, Clary Sage, what's yours, Anne?
Well, I think frankincense has to go in there for me. I just love frankincense.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, to be honest, it changed, don't they?
Yeah. So for me, Boswellia sacra, which is the holy frankincense, would be really up there with the Clary Sage. And then the citrus, because they're so refreshing. Neroli I don't get on too well with, but the sweet orange, mandarin, I think probably sweet orange, Clary Sage and frankincense would be mine.
I think I love frankincense. Absolutely love frankincense. Geranium I'm burning at the moment. I'm loving that at the moment. So that's a really good balancer. And when I can afford it, rose.
At the moment,
I do. I absolutely love rose in my skincare. You know, when I kind of just literally, because I make my own creams up and stuff, frankincense and rose are just bliss. And every morning you put it on, you get that smell out the bottle, and it's like, nice.
Nice. I'm loving the smell of carrot seed.
Sulphuric and cedarwood as well.
Yeah, cedarwood's lovely.
Yeah, they're lovely.
Yeah, carrot seed, Palmarosa, and Mei Chang.
Carrot seed.
I love carrot seed. The smell of
pipe. The pipe. I remember the pipe, Dan.
Yeah, well, that is it.
Like
every time I open it up, I'll just say hello to my granddad because it just reminds me of his smoking pipes. It's just hello. And when I get my moisturizer cream out, and it's just like, it's perhaps the only kind of masculine thing I have on me is carrot seed. And when I put it on, I think, oh, I feel a bit manly. But I love, those my 3. Palmarosa's always been my love because it's just Turkish delight. And Mei Chang, I just love that citrusy. I just love that refreshment. It's beautiful.
And it's interesting. I just love with our workshops because we connect with the essential oils. I just love the different things that people come up with the essential oils. And I remember you in the natural skincare workshop with carrot connecting with your granddad and the lovely smell, and Palmarosa and Turkish delight. And it's great, isn't it, Georgie, listening to people's connections. And that's one thing we do, is we get people to connect with the essential oils, with the smell and what the oil's telling them and what it's bringing up for them. So, really exciting to share that as well.
Yeah, because
we get all to come up because the smell is really close to the memory, so it kicks your memories off almost instantaneously. So some of the stories we get are just fantastic, and how open people are to sharing the memories and comes up for them is great. You know, it's good fun. Yeah.
Georgie, they're not always pleasant, are they?
No, no. And what some people think one thing there's a couple of oils people think reminds them of, farmyard, not the nice smell from a farmyard, and urine comes up a lot, and the rest of the table will be going, smells of flowers to me, or we all process it differently. Yeah,
we do. And Marie's favourites: frankincense, bergamot, and rose. A fourth, and linseed with a close fourth. Which linseed is the Mei Chang.
That's yeah. Oh, frankincense, bergamot, and rose. I mean, I feel in heaven just thinking about it. Gorgeous. Yeah. Amazing.
You see, I'm a little bit opposite. I used to love bergamot, but Mei Chang for me made my top 3, whereas bergamot would have perhaps been my close fourth. So
right. Yeah.
Lovely there, Marie. And Esther, she likes patchouli and ylang ylang. I love ylang ylang. I love ylang ylang. I think the sweet orange just kicked in a bit. But ylang ylang, I love, yes. And the patchouli, good old goths.
Yeah.
So any other questions? So again, from Charlotte, do you both implement essential oils into your daily routine?
Yeah.
What is your ultimate go-to that you cannot live without?
Yeah, Charlotte, Georgie's not using them so much the past week, but my ultimate one is making my face cream. So frankincense is always in my facial cream, and I have got a bit of rose in there at the moment. Nice. So yeah, I haven't bought a commercial moisturizer since I can't remember when. Can't really remember when years. So yeah, they're always in my skincare, face masks, toners, spritzers, the whole lot. And I always work with an essential oil or two. Just smelling it throughout the day. I've been working with some essential oil oracle cards at the moment, which a lady's brought out fairly recently, called, what are they called? The tongue of, I've forgotten.
Get your head out the sweet orange, gal. No, that's the geranium you've got, isn't it?
I need the rosemary. I don't know about anything else. Anyway, yes. I've been working with those and using the essential oils with those. So yeah, they are a big part of my daily. Go on, George.
Don't plug anybody else. Don't recommend anyone else's cards. Just concentrate on yourselves. That's fine.
Okay. Normally I would be working with an oil, just because I'm always I'm really interested. I do yoga most mornings, so I connect to an oil on a spiritual level, and so I will work with one oil for a whole 40 days. So I do a 40-day sadhana, and there will be one oil that I will work with for that 40 days, and I will journal it, and I will live with it, and work with chakras and all kinds of different ways, and just write down everything that comes up for me. So that's normally part of my daily practice, apart from the last 2 weeks where I've, not been using them. And then frankincense in my face cream, same as Anne. If I've got rose, I might pop a drop in, but I do tend to save it for the clients. But lockdown's been quite good for that, because I need to use it up, so I've been using it for me. So yeah, and I make all my own shower gel, bath gel. Quite often if I have a bath, I will mix it there and then. The only time I use the same thing, I don't use everything day in, day out, because it's good to mix them up, because you can sensitize to oils. So I may work with an oil on a spiritual level for 40 days, but that will be one drop in a diffuser, or I'll just sniff the bottle top as I connect into tune into my yoga practice, and that'll be the only time I use it that day. Things might come up later in the day and it will still go in the journal, but I'm not smelling it all day. And then normally if I do a bath, I make the blend up there and then. Shower gel, quite often I'll do a small one that'll last me the week, and then I'll mix it up the next week. And then the face cream, I've normally got 2 or 3 pots on the go. So I've got a night cream, a day cream, and then something that's good in the sun or whatever's going on. Might allow for my allergies this time of year, or being in the sea and getting really burnt. And then in the winter it'll be different. So yeah, there's not necessarily a go-to, but frankincense is coming up a lot, because that'll go in quite often, most of my skin blends. Yeah. Absolutely. And it's great as well, so it's a lovely one for that. Yeah.
And that's my problem at the moment, because obviously I did your natural skincare on the 29th of Feb. Then we've gone into lockdown, so I'm making all these lovely products, and it's taking me forever to get ready in the morning. So when work comes about, I'm going to need a quick, because I use the witch hazel hydrolat first on my face, then I put a rollerball on, then a moisturizer, and I'm done. But yeah, I need to get that timing quick, as I'll be running to work like dabbing my face on. But but like you ladies have said, it is so nice to be able to make things that's natural, that's good for my skin, and not keep buying these things. It's like with the shampoos, I'm starting to use that less and starting to incorporate some of the carrier oils with essential oils and stuff. And yeah, I mean, just to touch on actually, because you were saying about shower gels and things, and to relate that to the safety product, if we are to use essential oils in the bath, are they the best things to mix it with? We don't put it in neat.
No.
You always want to put it in something that will bubble up. So if you can get completely paraben-free, SLS-free, fragrance-free base, great. Or you can go to the supermarket and get a Sanex, which is pretty much that. And then you need to know your blend and dilution, and then you can mix it in and use that. Yeah, but it always needs to be a surfactant, which is basically anything that bubbles. Mm-hmm. You can get away with oil because the essential oils will mix in the carrier oil, but it is a bit dodgy because it's slippery. So you don't want to be falling over when you get out of the bath, because it's quite a hard surface to deck it on, basically. But so something bubbly is best, really, isn't it? What have you got there, Anne?
Can you see it?
Oh no, you're holding it off screen.
Oh, it's on my screen. Oh, I've just because I know Dan said about this polysorbate 20.
Not probate 40.
Not probate.
Oh, I'm glad we do some things away from live videos, just so I can get a little bit more complicated.
I always think of probate when I look at this now. Again, if you're ordering oils from Base Formula, you can get something called polysorbate 20, and you just need a small amount of it, say a little 10 ml, and you can add your essential oils to that and then add them to the bath. It's a brilliant way to enjoy oils in your bath. Polysorbate 20. If anybody wants the information, just message us, or Dan, because Dan might tell you probate.
Don't message me. You'll be writing out your will. Yes. What else was it I was going to say before we got that bottle out?
I can see the cat now.
Oh no, here I am saying they don't. Yeah. There's me saying, they don't like essential oils, but she's like, yeah, I do.
Yes, I have.
Yeah, look at that, brilliant. she's gone now. So yeah,
so that was bath.
So that's a good thing to do, because that was one of my things. That was one of my things. I used to put essential oils neat in the bath. That's what I, you just don't think. You just think, oh, whack that in there. But it doesn't blend in. It just sits on the top. You put your buttocks in the water.
And out.
And out again. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if we've covered all the other safety things. We've done ingestion. We've done neat on the skin, which again was something that I used to do with a bit of tea tree and, teenage spots, just put that on and and.
Yeah, well, it was considered safe until, over time, the evidence has been gathered and the hospital emissions have been noticed with the tea tree and lavender and various other ones. And it's proven to not be safe practice anymore. But, it wasn't very many years ago that evidence or data hadn't been collected and no one knew. But now they know that it's that's caused these reactions. So so it's going. It's ongoing. There's so much more research to be done.
That's
information is big. If you're not sure, less is more.
Definitely.
There's all kinds of different dilution charts and calculators online. Just really go less,
and build yourself up.
Or come on to our workshops and we'll tell you.
This is it.
The oils that we cover on the workshops, you get the dilutions and you get the full safety on each oil profile, and you will learn more about general safety at the workshop as well. Yeah,
I mean, that's it. I've been to 2 of your workshops and I've now got a huge collection and I'm not afraid to experiment.
That's fabulous.
And exactly what Georgie says, it's all about going low, doing little testers, making sure that I'm okay with those oils, and then just building up from there. And you two are just so hands-on and you're both there. I can message either one of you, or we've got several group chats that we're in. I can message you guys and you're there and your advice is amazing. So I love your workshops. I think I'm glad that Devon is your home. It's amazing to have you guys as friends and wizards.
And the same for you, Dan. I mean, with the crystals and stuff. But just to say to everybody, we're more than happy to field questions. And with lockdown, kind of had quite a few people coming on and asking us various things, because people can't get to see their chiros, they can't get to see their osteopaths, they can't get to see this, they can't get to see that. So we're kind of having to make do with what we can at home, and that's where essential oils can really, really come to the foreground. And one workshop we do in particular, I think when we get it out there will be brilliant, and it's for stress, anxiety and depression. And I think that will be particularly valuable too. But one last thing I was going to say, I know you've got your aloe vera jelly somewhere, Dan. Can you just show it a second? I was going to say, for people who want to use stuff topically, and they don't want to use an oil or a cream, that also is a lovely way of getting essential oils into your system. Because you were mentioning, it's not aloe vera gel that you buy. It's an actual jelly that's been formulated to accept essential oils. So it is a little bit different than your standard aloe vera, but it is lovely and it's great for getting essential oils into your body, especially like this time of year. If you've got bites and stings on your legs and it's hot weather, that's perfect to use rather than using an oil or a cream.
And it blends in so well when you use it. I love this for
and you keep it in the fridge and you get a bite, sting or a sunburn, it's absolutely amazing to use.
All of mine are in a fridge. I am so lucky. I actually have my very own aromatherapy fridge. So it all does keep in there. I've just got it all out because to make these women feel welcome being here. And actually, talking about crystals and their connections, I know, Anne, you've been on since day one with the live videos, and you are always coming on doing your crystal connections. But the other day, Georgie, you had a very weird crystal connection, didn't you?
I will share this. It was amazing, actually. I had a collection of sunstones, and I've been using them for energy because I've been working hard in the garden. And normally I put them in my pocket, but I think I had holy jeans on because I knew I was getting muddy. So I just grabbed the first one, put it in my bra, went out, full of energy all day. I mean, you know, they really work. It's amazing how well they work. Then I ran a lovely bath, no oils, because I'd had this reaction and the hay fever was up, but I had lots of energy, which was amazing considering, you know, how ill I was feeling. I took the bra off and the crystal stuck to my skin. And I thought, oh, this is unusual, you know, and had a closer inspection and it was a boiled sweet. So the only thing I can think that worked is the diffusion and osmosis of the sugar from the sweet going through the skin throughout the day as I worked. Yeah. So I had crystals in my bra for years and years. I'm no expert like Dan, but that is definitely the first time that I'm aware of that I've walked around all day with a boiled sweet down my bra. If you decide to try that method, yeah.
Everybody should try that.
And I'm so pleased to share that with the world, Dan. Yeah, thank you.
I had to, Georgie, when you put that up on the group chat the other night, I was in bits because you said it looked like there was salt over it. It was white. It looked like salt had come out of it. And I was thinking, I don't know what's gone on here. And then when you said, oh, actually, it's a boiled sweet that you put in your bra. I mean, the amount of workshops I've done with children, and I've said to them, now, these crystals are not sweets. I have never, ever done it the other way around, where these sweets are not crystals. But if the next crystal club you come to, Georgie, I might have to say, you know, sweets are not crystals. I don't want you getting your curly whirly round your bra, okay?
Well, the thing is, orange calcite that makes me fancy, you know, some Turkish delight.
Oh.
So I'm going to have to be very careful that I don't walk around with Turkish delight in my bra now. And break my teeth on the orange calcite. Yeah.
Okay. So, Sandra, you live on the other side of the rainbow. Are we allowed to do the course, or do you have to be there in person once this lockdown is over? You started the online courses.
Yeah.
And I think, is that a continual thing, or is that just for lockdown only?
Well, to be honest, I think it's going to be for lockdown, but I think social distancing, we can't run our workshops socially distanced very easily because all of our venues, for those that have already been, you sit around in a group and you share all the essential oils and you share everything. So it's not really feasible. So we think social distancing is going to probably go on for a long time. So we are offering, I'm just going to be putting them up soon. We've got 6 workshops from now until middle of July. We're going to be putting up, which will all be online. Yeah. Make sure
you send me one of those posters so we can.
I will. Yeah.
We can put that up on Dan ROX. Let people know what's going on.
But then I think we'll probably be back to where we were running workshops was Barnstable, Fremington, Barnstable, Bideford, where we are.
Holsworthy,
Beaune.
Camelford.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think it would be watch this space as well. When if it goes really well and people further afield are interested.
That's it, yeah. If people in Scotland, abroad, if they're getting into it, then yeah, if it works well. Obviously, it's all about can you ship essential oils abroad?
Yeah,
I don't know.
you can, because I've received them from the States, but I'm not sure how easy it is to do.
Because you're declaring.
It might be hard with New Zealand. They've got really strict things about natural things going through, haven't they? But certainly UK based. If it goes well and there's a request from wider field, it won't be the same as being in a room together, but you still learn a lot and get a lot out. Yeah, and it'll still be fun.
It will still be fun because you two really work well together. You deliver an amazing workshop full of information, and I go away buzzing. I am literally on cloud 9. Most of the time I miss my bus stop and I'll get dropped off at the bus station at Barnstable rather than the train station. I'm a little bit away with the ferries still, but it's so much fun. And I love you two, and thank you so much for coming on here, because it's giving you good practice, ready for when you do your Zoom meeting in a couple of weeks' time. So
Brilliant, thank you.
Thank
you for having us.
It's a pleasure.
Thanks for inviting us, Dan. Thank you so much. I've had a really lovely evening.
Yeah,
many questions. On the AromaWizards page.
And that is it. And just like any good people who run a workshop, their advice doesn't end at the end of that workshop. It carries on. The windows are open. You can message them as much as you want. Sarah's just put up Sarah Hedger Hill. You know the Hedger Hill sisters. Bless them. She has to say Anne has helped her no end with lots of skincare issues. And she's had some gorgeous products from you. And she can't wait to do one of your online courses with you both.
Brilliant. Thank you, Sarah.
Brilliant.
That's
great to hear. Thank you, Sarah.
And it's what this was about. You two coming together was about sharing this awareness, safety first, but then allowing us to bring in these products so we don't go to the supermarkets and buy these nasty, synthetic, horrid things. It's so nice to take care of ourselves. And when we make something with love and we're putting that love onto our body, it speaks volumes. It really does.
Definitely. Definitely. I don't think people realise, what is actually in some of the stuff we use.
Absolutely. So, So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Any other questions at all for these guys? If you didn't catch to ask your questions here, their Facebook page has been going along the bottom of the screen. AromaWizards, North Devon. So please find them and ask them, especially if you've got any personal issues, any skin things. So thank you very much.
Brilliant. Thanks.
All right, ladies, I'm going to let you two shoot off, and then I will just end the video for what's coming on next week. But from me, a massive, huge love to both of you. And Georgie, I hope you get better soon. And you started off with sweet orange. Hopefully, you could crack open that frankincense soon. Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. Thank you.
I'll speak to you soon.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. That was absolutely amazing. So beautiful, ladies. And as I've been saying all the way through the video, they're my go-tos for any aromatherapy, I highly recommend their workshops. I'm looking forward to going online with Anne and Molly for the crystal and essential oil one, because I did that face to face, and I think it's going to be exactly the same doing it online. I don't think there's going to be that much of a difference. So if you are on that one, I'll look forward to seeing you lot there. But thank you so much for tuning in and joining us tonight. We'll be back Monday, start of the brand new Crystal Connection, and then I'll hear how you felt this week, summarizing that, how you felt with those crystals you were working with this week. Tomorrow, next week, we have Jo Dutefield. She's coming on Wednesday to talk about her meditation and readings. And then Saturday, we've got Helen Chapman coming on to do some shamanic explanation of what is shamanism, and going through that row. And then in June, we've got some amazing people coming up. We've got the lovely Hilary Stanley. She'll be joining us on an evening. The Patrick Gamble, he will be with us. And so will Cloud Song. Just to list 3 names, but there are plenty more people piling up ready to do a Saturday or Wednesday night live on this page. So thank you all for joining us. I hope that that was helpful. But again, get in touch with them if you need a little bit more advice. From me to you, love you, good night. See you all Monday. Have a good Sunday.